All right, guys. So, Michael Severs. I'm from here in Kentucky.
Is that thing recording?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, it's recording there.
Oh.
Yeah.
I told you technology is not my highlight.
Well, that is
All
correct.
right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'm Pete Millette from Michigan.
I'm Jordan McGinnis from Illinois.
I'm Scotty Bob from New York.
And so Casey Shoup is here too, but he's asleep. He's been up since 6 a.m. yesterday, apparently.
Drove down from,
Oh, yeah,
drove down
what
from
I
the
get.
UP.
Yeah, he come down from the
Well,
UP.
drove all night too.
I started it. I woke up at 2 in the morning and got here.
Casey got here today at 10 or 11, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty whooped. He got some traps in though. He's pretty excited. He got stuck. It was Casey, the first actual mishap of the whole ordeal, and it was Casey. It was somebody from Michigan.
And the truck's still stuck, right?
It's not a truck, it's side by side.
Oh, okay. That's better than the truck, I
Side by
guess.
side, but he
I don't
got
know that is.
Well, at least, that's true.
Because that means you can get a side by side a lot farther back in. than you can get a
it's
truck.
not too
Yeah.
bad. It's only probably 500 yards of the field.
500 yards.
Yeah, it could be 1,000.
I was gonna say that's like a bridge too far.
Yeah, you got some big fields here.
Yeah, it's on down
Yeah.
there, so
Yeah.
we'll figure that out tomorrow. But that's part of traffic, you know.
Yep.
That's if you haven't gotten stuck once or twice and you haven't been doing anything. But everybody's in beaver trapping, and Jordan's in bobcat trapping too.
Had a couple sets out today.
And so I put out some bobcat sets today too.
Did you?
Well, I wasn't going to, but you were talking about it, and I said,
Man, you got to.
I got to too. No, well, because I'm in Tennessee, so I still got tags in Tennessee.
How many can you catch? 10?
Unlimited.
Unlimited.
Tennessee.
Oh, that's sweet.
And so, so that's I said, man, I'm gonna go ahead, and I got on a couple farms, and I was pretty glad to get those done. And but yeah. So, what is different about Kentucky trapping so far for you?
Well, at home, right now there's 2.5 feet of snow, and there's probably a foot of ice. And so,
Like in the water, for the ice?
oh yeah, depending on where you're at.
A lot of ice.
What
There-
do you do with that?
Well, it's all under ice snaring this time of year, unless you took the time ahead of time to maybe mark some channels and runs. Then you can go back to them and spot them and drop a conveyor down in there. But I'm not that organized, and usually by the time I get called to go somewhere, it's kind of like what you were on today. Never been there before, so here we go. And so, unlike coming here, like I told you, where you have this big flood come through and it cleaned all the sign and everything else, so it's just a clean slate. And then the day I show up, the flooded waters had just gone away. And then the very next day when I'm gonna set traps, the temperature dropped 30 degrees in one day.
You brought that trash with you.
I did, yeah. And so now suddenly we go down to single digit temperatures, but trying to find beaver sign here, they don't have feed piles, they don't have all the things that we have up north. And so it was like clean slate trapping. Okay, there's a dam, I know they're gonna come to that dam, so I'm gonna set around that dam. And so this week has been like a roller coaster ride, but there's a learning curve.
Old dog, new tricks.
They're
Yeah.
not even a smart dog.
Paper maps. Paper maps.
Paper maps.
Yeah.
That's right. Onyx.
He's like, I've got Onyx. I'm like, okay, great. He's like, I don't know how to use it.
You got it, though.
I got it.
We can put some pins on
That,
it. and make
you
it
know,
work.
it's just like old Tiger McGee. I'm the winner. I got it, boy. I'm the winner.
Now, Jordan, you're from Illinois, so it's not too far away.
Nope.
Is it pretty similar, or is it?
From what I did today, it's a lot different, but I drove by stuff that's similar. I mean, it was flooded timber with a bunch of vegetation. Like you sunk like 2 feet.
Yeah.
Not in mud, but vegetation there. Normally the vegetation at home is either gone or just doesn't exist, but.
We got so much spring water here that water stays, above freezing most of the time. And so you do see a lot extra growth and stuff like that.
Bunch today, for sure.
A lot of otters because of it too.
Yeah.
And you find your spring holes, that's where your otters will always be. And frogs, everything. So you go into a spring hole, middle of a freeze that we had, and you'll see frogs and stuff swimming around in a spring hole. In the middle of winter.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty crazy. So New York,
New
how
York.
much different is it from New York to here?
I was hoping it'd be warmer.
That's why I waited till the day to come.
Tomorrow. Tomorrow.
I was hoping to get out of the snow and the ice, and I came here and there's
Yeah.
snow on the ground and there's ice on the ponds.
Peter brought it.
And yeah,
Because it wasn't Michael's fault, because he came from Mississippi.
that's right.
So it wasn't mine.
That's right.
Okay, we could blame Casey now at this
But
Yeah, but he just got here. So, and the weather's getting warmer every day now.
And so this is our first year doing this, the beaver blowout. And of course we let it trap whatever. And so it's a learning year. We'd hope to have a bunch more people, but I think it's going to be a neat thing to do. And I think it's important that trappers start getting back together, not just at conventions. Conventions are great, but I think that we need to show that we can work together and we can help teach and learn. Well, like when Michael was here, he did that whole video stuff, and we had some kids that came and watched. And I hope to be able to do something like that again before, especially before you leave, Mr. Peter. And I hope to be able to do another one, and have some kids come and actually, participate, because everybody says, oh, it's because kids don't want to get into it because of video games, this and that. I think it's actually parents, actually mentors.
Because you take them out once, normally they're going to get hooked pretty quickly. I mean, it's just the fact of just getting them out there to begin with.
Well, you get a kid that's outdoorsy at all.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to fall in love with it.
Oh, it's neat,
Yeah.
and well, like today, you found a shed today while you're out trapping. There's so much
That went
more
through
to
the tire.
it. Yeah, that's
Almost.
not the way to find it. It's the wrong way to find it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
you
you
take,
found it.
I found it.
but you take like that, trapping. You aren't just out catching animals. You're being a real part of nature. Like you see everything, the tracks. The
Well,
this,
saw
the that.
80 turkeys and 40 deer today.
I saw more deer on my way home on the road.
Oh,
My word, it's everywhere. But I think it's important to get groups together from all different places. Like y'all, we were just talking about, how you did your beaver skinning, which we're going to video that because that is
Yep.
neat. So we won't talk a lot about that, but you skin beaver different than everybody else sitting here.
yeah.
There's 3 other people here that have skinned between us who knows how many beaver. I have never thought to do it that way.
You've never seen anybody do it.
No.
Nope.
So I'm excited for us to
All right.
video that.
All right.
That is
There's
something.
always something different.
There is.
And the only way you figure it out is when you sit down together
And you,
and
Learn
you go, wait a minute, what did you just do?
yeah,
Because, I do things, that I just do it. And I'm not thinking that that's special.
you're not going to reinvent the mousetrap, but you can make it better.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's taken all those, I don't expect, if I show you guys what I do, I don't expect everybody to do that. Because it's whatever fits their way. But if they can come away with one little thing out of that makes them better, that's a win.
Well, there's all the time, we all watch videos and stuff, there's all the time people come up with new sets, but they're not. It's just a modification of an old set.
Right.
Like, I don't know that I've ever seen a brand new set that hasn't been being done for decades.
Well, then regionally, a lot of things change too.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
if you're one part of the country as opposed to another part of the country, the response to the animals, just what you have.
Different
Like you're talking
regulations.
about the amount of vegetation. You
Yeah.
have.
Yeah, everybody's got different regulations. And,
Well, and
The
that
rules make a big difference.
I mean, for me, where I come from New York, I need to stay 15 feet away from a beaver dam.
Really?
Yeah.
15 feet?
15 feet.
Y'all can sit
15
on
feet.
beaver dams, can't you?
Yeah.
And so for me to come here and be able to put a trap on a beaver dam
Woo!
is just, it's
My word, we knocked a hole in a beaver lodge. And
Yeah.
We got a problem with beaver down here, though. So you guys are just free game, aren't you?
They're everywhere.
Wow.
Well, you guys got the habitat. You got a lot of water.
A lot of water. I mean, well, you got to figure as the crow flies, we're not 20 miles from Mississippi River.
Yeah, you're getting an influx every year coming in there.
And
Just
there's
free feeding
never-
everything.
There's never a shortage of beaver. We've always got them. Like that, and that's the way we'll always be. Like,
Yeah.
we'll always have them. And
The gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
yeah, well, and like here, so like on Facebook, there's this beaver coexistence page. Have you seen it?
Yeah, there's one of those anti-pages.
Well,
no,
originally
no.
it was a beaver management page, and it was talking about it, and I thought it was pretty neat. There's a bunch of guys on there that were trappers. They got on there and they were sharing things, and then come to the lady changes the name of it. She says this is not what it was for. It's for coexistence. Well, you can't coexist with beaver on farm ground.
No,
They're just they're like, we'll put in beaver deceivers, put in risers, put in this, a ditch, a farm ditch that is a mile long. We'll just keep moving. You can't do anything to coexist with that animal.
No.
It has to be controlled. And and that's
When they start feeding on the corn,
oh yeah.
like a combine,
Well, and the bad part is
Oh,
they'll make them beaver dams out of the corn and soybeans. You want something that gets hard. You get that clay mud and then the corn and soybeans in it. It turns to brick.
concrete.
It's literally like they're in there making little bricks in the building. The only place I've ever had it worse is I did work for a clay mine. And that clay mine, they'd push it up, and it was the kind of clay they made kitty litter out of. Whatever was in that. And they'd push it up over the dam when they got done building it with sticks and reeds and everything. They'd push that clay up over it. And it would dry in the sun. And it was like stone. And it was the worst. Oh, it stunk. It smelled so bad. That clay, I don't know what it was about. It was like primordial ooze or something. It was just awful. Absolutely awful. But I think that's what's fun is hearing the way different people do stuff and everything. Like Jordan's on Facebook pretty heavy, and he's always throwing out just truckloads of beaver every day.
Not every day.
100 beaver a day kind of guy.
100.
It's
Not quite as
crazy.
hard.
And
You work out of a dump truck? Is that what you have?
It's either the boat or the truck or the side by side. I try to stay away from the side by side beaver trapping, but
Because you can't fit 100 beaver in the back of the side by side.
well, I never caught 100 in a day. I have caught 20 in a day.
that's enough. I've done that.
Yeah,
most I've ever caught in a day was actually on that map. It's one of the spots that actually I don't know that I pinned it to you ago yet. Well, I was trying to get some. There's been some inheritance changes in who owns it, but there's a big run that starts right here, and the creek just runs along a gas line, and then it turns back into just open creek. And I caught 26 in there in one day.
Ooh.
And
Hammered them.
oh, it was a big day. And at that time, I had a Honda 4-wheeler, and I literally had them piled up on the front, and I was sitting on them. And I had them on the back, and they were tied off, and I was dragging
Ratchet
somebody
strap to
out.
the top.
Oh, it was everywhere. I took them all out in one load, and I did. It was
One load.
that thing was squatted all the way
You
down.
probably broke
You
the
had
axle.
no shot.
Oh, it was so bad. It was so
No
bad. It was literally rubbing tires. But I've never been more excited. I was dragging part of them, which I shouldn't have done that. But
You do what you got to do in that situation.
You can make 2 trips.
You can.
Yeah.
But I carry groceries in one trip. It doesn't matter how many. Same difference.
Just don't
Same
break the
difference.
eggs.
Yeah, no, not anymore.
Eggs, squish bread. I know how this is going.
Yeah.
All right, talking about eggs and the one thing of it. So I smoked that beaver yesterday.
Yeah.
I took part of it around, and I shared it with some of the folks in the restaurant, and I didn't tell them what it was until after that. And some of the people know better. They're like, "No, Micah, we're not taking that.
We know this is some
We
lie.
are not taking that from you."
What is it? And we don't want it.
And but even some of these little kids, this little girl was like, "I really liked it," and I told her what it was. She's like, "I still liked it." But her friend was not happy about it. She spit it out. She was mad. They were like 8-year-old little girls, 9. It was hilarious.
Did they like it when they ate it though?
Yeah.
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 And then you told them what
Oh
it was.
yeah, no. The one little girl was fine with it after I told her, but then her friend spit it out, so she acted like she didn't like it. But then she came back, she's like, "I really liked it." She came and whispered it to me, and told me she liked it.
She went back for seconds.
That was one older lady. She did not think it was funny. Luckily, she didn't take it because I think she'd have been really mad at me had she eaten it.
Well, the rest of that beaver is right now down in the oven, down in
Yeah.
the common room there. I've just set the oven at 235 because I
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
sure how long this was going to take, and I figured, well, we'll let that warm up. Although, the one thing I noticed, we don't have any of that delicious barbecue sauce, and so that beaver would be really good on a sandwich. The way you pulled it and everything, if it had some of that delicious barbecue
Yeah.
sauce.
Never good enough.
And I figured that you'd have that barbecue sauce in like 5-gallon drums out in your garage or something.
Not in this garage.
Well, not this one.
Yeah, the health department might come and strangle me. That's a kid asked me. He said, "Oh, can we get that next time too?" I said, "No." He's like, "Why don't you have it all the time?" I said, "The health department would tangle me."
Well,
I was like, "That would not be friends."
we could show them that other beaver that
Yes, yeah, I
we're-
could have cooked this
that you're working us.
The one with the
Yep.
abscess?
Or the
That's-
one
that's
that
still out
there?
there? Yeah.
Yeah, it's laying on the floor.
Yeah, that is the largest abscess I've ever seen. I've seen them with the little ones where they get bit and stuff, but it was literally as big as a grapefruit.
That would be enough if you cut that open to make you want to puke.
Oh, I bet.
I ain't bothered.
Yeah.
Well, nothing bothers you because
No.
that's the way you are.
No, if you gagging sound stuff like that bothers me. I don't do human stuff.
I think we're kind of getting off track here.
Yeah. Let my ADHD run off with it. Good job, guys. Don't squirrel me.
Well, we're still talking about beaver.
That's right, that's right.
And
And
that beaver had no exterior signs at all
that's
that
crazy.
there was anything wrong with it. I skinned that out. You know, I had a couple of little nodules on it, but you get that all the time. It's nothing unusual.
You know,
Yeah, that's all it is.
I think that's a good thing to notice though, because you see wild animals die, and people that don't understand wildlife, they automatically run to, oh, it's this or it's that, it's something big. Animals get cancer.
Yeah.
Animals get all kinds of tuberculosis. There's all kinds of things. They have
Sure.
kidney diseases and liver diseases.
The odds of any wildlife dying of old age is
Slim.
Almost impossible.
almost impossible. I'm not gonna say it doesn't happen.
Besides
but
mature bucks, about the
it-
only thing that could.
Yep, lay down and die someday.
Yeah.
But very rarely,
But something happens to them.
I hate to say we have too many vehicles on the road.
Yeah.
I'll just be honest with you.
Not-
Yeah, why?
And I laugh about that because people talk about armadillos we have here now. Of course, caught that armadillo today in a
Yeah,
football,
I saw that.
which is just weird, But I tell people once you start seeing something dead on the road, you've got a population of it. They're like, what does that mean? I said, because animals will inherently not cross roads unless they have to. But now, like our deer, they travel because of food, water, mating, whatever, because we've got them everywhere. Like everywhere. Well, beaver, Kim found that beaver in the road the other day. Just right up here.
Roadkill?
Yeah, I skinned it. It was perfect shape. It didn't have nothing wrong with it. Hit it right on the nose. Hit it right over. I mean, right on the nose.
Perfect hit. Though.
She thought it had fallen off my side by side. I was like, no.
I didn't lose nothing.
No, I did not lose a beaver on the side of the road. I did have a guy take 2 off my trailer one time at the gas station. He didn't speak good English.
He stole them?
Well, no, it was a
He was
misunderstanding.
hungry.
He came over and I thought he wanted to take a picture of it. And
Can I?
this old guy was standing there and he watched all this, transpire, and I go inside to pay for my gas. I come back out and he's chuckling. And I look and he's like, "You count them things?" I said, "Well, he's like, yeah, I guess." He's like, "You're missing 2, the small one." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "The Hispanic fella took him." He said, "He thought you said he could." He said, "I knew you were trying to tell him to take a picture." And then he's like, "Oh, well."
Well, hopefully he ate them.
That's what they're gonna do.
That's, I'm sure that's what it was.
Yeah.
But I don't care. They got an ass. I would probably give them to the small ones. If they wanted to eat them, whatever. And some beaver tacos or beaver burrito or whatever.
Smoked beaver.
But that's something that is funny. Is I talked to we've got a lot of Spanish around here. They don't do a lot of trapping and stuff. Like it's not a big thing down there. Well, that's why you look at Tierra del Fuego. Have y'all ever looked at that?
Yeah.
Beaver have ruined that. If anybody ever tells you and tries to say that beaver don't destroy complete habitats, they create habitat. Look up Tierra del Fuego. They completely destroy.
That's in
everything.
Mexico?
It's an island. It's Argentina.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And-
Way down south.
There were beaver that far south?
They were.
Well, they took them
They
there.
brought them there. Not native.
They thought it would
That's-
help the
that's
ecosystem.
Why they? That. Yeah, I don't know if they brought them down. Thought they were gonna have a fur industry or what it was. Or,
See, I think,
but
but it has completely
backfired on them.
nobody can. There's nothing to control.
devastated.
So now they gotta bring down bobcats, and they gotta bring down everything else.
Panthers and grizzly bears.
Yeah.
They need to bring us now.
That's
Alligator is what they're gonna need to get. So
Yeah,
Arkansas tried that, I think.
Really?
Brought in alligators in the, was it 90s?
I don't know.
Controlled the
missed
beaver
this.
population,
Bet
but
they
it kind of backfired because now they got just as many beaver and they got gators on the southern part.
Yeah.
Way south part of
They
it.
said, huh, well, that didn't work out. That didn't go like we planned.
that's where I'm gonna draw the line. I'm not trapping beaver around any alligators.
We don't have any
It ain't gonna happen.
No, we don't. Well, yeah, I see those videos of those guys that trap down there and they'll get those alligators in
The
330s,
330s,
still
yeah.
alive, still
Yeah.
completely perfectly alive. And
Yeah, there's no upside on that
Not
at all.
It's alligator.
Oh, I'd be into that. I don't know.
As long as I can
Not-
keep it.
Well,
you
I
know,
ca- I
just-
catch-
Yeah.
They have to let them go.
Yeah, that's
I catch so many snapping turtles in the springtime. Once the snappers are coming out and it's starting to get warm, and snapper turtles, they're completely unappreciative when they're let out of a trap. It's like, screw you, I'm still going to try to bite you. But they're fun. I mean, they're like a dinosaur. In
You ever
fact-
caught one in a snare?
No, all 3/3.
So I caught one in a snare years ago at Kentucky Lake. I was doing some work from the marina. That thing was massive. Well, I decided I was going to bring it home. In my head, I would put it in the back of the truck and it would stay there.
No.
We get home.
No.
It is gone.
Oh yeah,
It is gone. It jumped out of the back of the truck. Climbed right out of the back of the truck.
sure.
I never mentioned it to anybody much because I was like, somebody probably hit that thing doing
Yeah.
60 mile an hour.
And all it did was make the car fly up in the air.
And I mean, it was this big around. It was one of the biggest ones I've ever seen, so I was bringing it home.
And it was a common snapper?
Yeah.
It wasn't an
Yeah.
alligator?
Oh, see, yeah, the alligators have their protection in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't. I wouldn't let that go. But yeah, no, I doing that marina work out of the lake. You see big ones. You'll get bigger ones. You'll get big ones in these farm ditches, but not like that.
Well, I don't mind. I don't mind catching them, and that's part of doing nuisance control in the springtime. Is you're going to start getting them snapping turtles, but you can control a snapping turtle. I mean,
Yeah.
get a 4 to 6 to 8 to 12 foot gator.
Well, I don't know if they're catching that big of ones down there, are
It's
they?
usually small.
About like 4 or 5 footers. You can wrestle them.
You can.
He's like, no.
You can.
It's all
The
handling the snapper. It's all technique. And
But that gets back to what we were
alligators.
saying earlier
Same thing.
about everything's different in every different place.
Well, yeah,
There's
prime
gators.
example, gate, yeah.
They have to deal with gators, and they got nutria, which we got nutria now.
We got 18
Really?
inches of ice. So, everybody deals with
Every,
different
every place has pros and cons.
Pros and cons.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Right.
up north, you guys don't have any venomous snakes, right? Where
No.
That's what I was going to ask. Go ahead, you hit them.
No.
So, I mean, that's a pro.
I have timber rattlesnakes.
Oh, you do?
But the trapping season, they're
gone,
they're
they're
out,
out,
and
yeah.
and they're not. Usually, you don't find them. If you're doing summer nuisance or something like that, they're not a.
Few and far between.
Yeah, they're not.
Y'all got cottonmouths?
No, well, see, we're right on the border. You go an hour south and get into them, but we don't have any in my area.
No, we do. We got all
What about this
kinds.
week? What's going to happen this week then with the 60-degree weather?
It should be fine.
It should be.
They'll be slow.
Until
How
you
do
grab a
how do
snake.
they taste?
No, I've never eaten one.
So I get one of those. I'm cooking that baby.
So I got to tell you that I'm out today, going into a new spot. I get down in there and I see scales, and I worked professionally with timbers and things like that before I retired. So it caught my eye, and I'm like, it's way too cold. It should be,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, okay, no, this is just a piece of skin, but it was circular. It was about this long, but circular and made a tube. And I'm looking at that going, oh my God, what do they have down
There's
here?
a gar.
And I'm thinking, was it a gar or and then I'm like, or is this a armadillo? And I'm like, okay.
Was it in the water, near the water?
Near the
I
water?
bet you it was a gar. I bet
Oh,
you-
just the shell of it?
Yeah, just
The hard shell?
Well, not the shell, but
I bet it was a gar.
the skin.
Yeah.
The skin and the scale.
Was it long, like a tube?
It's like two. I mean, about that. I got a picture of it. pull it out.
What, do they die and the inside of them slides out? or-
Yeah, the inside rot and that scales, they don't really, they're so hard,
Yeah.
they don't ever go away.
But
Unless
I
it could-
wasn't in the spot where I mean, it was an impound, on the.
You wouldn't think there'd be any
I
guard
wouldn't
in it.
think it,
Yeah, unless it flooded
unless it,
and
Yeah.
guard got up in there and
Could
flooded,
be.
you know.
See, I was leaning towards armadillo, just because we don't ever see those anyway.
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, armadillo would have to be pretty big.
Yeah, football.
Now, is it true armadillos carry leprosy?
They can. It's like a 20% type thing.
That's too high.
Yeah, I think that's a guard shell, isn't it?
Here, let me see.
Not positive, that's a guard that's curled up.
Oh yeah, it's a gar.
oh,
It's a gar.
man, that's some.
It's armor.
It is.
Yeah, yeah. To clean them, you gotta get a sawzall and cut the back with a saw because you can't. A knife won't touch it.
Yeah, gar is thick.
Yeah, you ain't getting a
Yeah.
knife through that. That's.
No,
But
they
when-
get the soul out.
When you shoot them when you're bow fishing, they're so hard to cut off there. And everything.
Yeah.
They're not really good for anything.
No, they're not really good eating. People eat them.
Yeah, you gotta.
I've cleaned
know-
a few,
you
but
gotta know
you
what
gotta
you're
use the saw to
doing.
cut the back off.
Yeah. But no, you can't make fish oil out of them or nothing like
Yeah.
that. They're just not.
Pretty rough.
There's just not enough there to really
No.
do anything.
No, and they rot so fast.
Yeah. Besides the scales.
Poor Peter hadn't gonna shake that cough. He's had that. Hi, what are you doing?
Dog's eating good tonight.
Oh yeah, that is.
Beaver. My dog gains about 15 pounds in the wintertime from beaver meat.
Our dogs eat so much raw meat.
Same as mine.
Well, that's the other byproduct of trapping
There's a whole
beavers.
market.
So there's a whole market now that's come up as a result of specialty dog food and
Well, it's such high protein, good clean protein.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
well, and that's one of the things. That's another thing that I keep seeing people talk about. And it came up a lot when people were, I'd love to come down there if there was any money in furs. There's this and that. Well, part of it is, there's more than just coming down to make money with fur. It's partly, just getting together and having fun. And
Experience.
Yeah.
Well, and trapping a new state. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And-
how much do people pay to go hunt a stupid deer?
Micah knows.
I know all
Okay.
about it. It's-
Actually, I need you.
And,
I'm just like, Jordan, you know about that.
you getting leases and blah blah blah. Deer hunting, you're not making any money hunting
No,
deer.
people still do it.
But right,
Duck
exactly.
hunting. Duck,
Yeah.
you want something that's
Duck-
expensive.
That's even more deer hunting.
Shoo. And you get less out of it.
Yeah.
My word, how many ducks does it take to make the same meat shit out of a deer? Like if you're doing all I'm gonna eat them. It's a lot of ducks.
So I don't buy that argument. I mean,
Well, but
it's-
the thing
I mean,
is,
it's nice to have
I mean, granted, trapping's
You want to
more.
have a market to be able to pass it on, but
but there is.
I don't need it to be.
But the thing is there is a market. And I think
There
so
is.
many people have failed to see the outside market. We've got the dog food market now.
You got skulls,
Got
tails.
the taboo market.
Yeah.
These taboo shops, they're everywhere. Every big city you look,
Taboo.
there will be a taboo market. They make
Oddities and curiosities.
oddities. That's what I was
Oddities and
talking
curiosities.
Well, it says taboo there too, but oddities.
Yeah, I went to, just for the giggles, I went to an expo one time, Oddities and
It's
Curiosity, and it's bones and
Yeah.
So they keep
possum's
doing-
head, a whole possum
dogs.
head in a jar
Yeah.
for $100.
Well, see, and they can't.
Okay.
They have trouble
Now we're
getting
talking.
people to bring them undamaged stuff. They get roadkill now.
Because everything's roadkill,
And-
Yeah.
but-
especially if it's possum.
But people won't sell them, they're skinning their foxes and stuff like that, and so they have a hard time buying them whole. But they'll take a whole fox and they'll make like a statue out of it, and they'll take like half the fur off the face and it'll be the skull. And all in all, it's neat stuff. Am I going to have a bunch of it hanging around my house? No, probably not. Cameron, she's got 2 or 3 jars of eyeballs in her room from them. They buy the eyeballs. They buy everything. And there is a market for every part of an animal if you're willing to approach it.
Yeah, you just gotta find it.
Not,
Yeah.
it's not in huge volume. That's the downside of it. But if you
It's
poke
there.
around, it's
Yeah.
there.
Well, like you know, this time of year, you start getting otter and beaver fetuses and stuff like
Yep.
that. There's a market for that.
Mhm.
You know, and you know, contact your colleges, contact your your state fishing game and stuff, and they have programs that want stuff.
Yeah.
And you know, and there is, and then like me, I send everything off, everything tanned. I don't sell at the auctions or anything like that. I have everything tanned. I sell everything in mine tanned, but I've got a market for it. I've built a market for it.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, but people just say, I think they short sight that part of it. And but then again, you have to, it's partly not about money. It's really not.
It's not.
It's getting outdoors and
Yep.
enjoying and just
And I don't think people that don't trap don't understand that either.
no.
Right? Why
No.
do you do that? Well, you don't. Well, just like anything else, why do you love to golf? Well,
Yeah, definitely any money in golf.
no.
Why do you sit there and watch a football game? Why do you,
Yeah.
it's what you enjoy doing. And the only thing is it's not a normal thing for people because it's so old fashioned. And people think it's outdated so far, but because they don't see the necessity in it.
Right.
They don't look at conservation is a funny word. People take conservation and think it's saving, rescuing this and that, and they don't see the bigger picture of it. And part of that is limiting and controlling and management. And conservation isn't as simple as plant food, do this, do that, don't kill anything. And I think that's what people want it to
That's
be.
preservation, and actually that doesn't work
No.
in a natural environment.
Ah.
It's just got the seasons.
It's just not designed that way. That goes back to the
Yeah.
nothing in nature lives to old age and just
Yeah.
Right.
keels over and dies that way. It just doesn't work that way. But see,
Yeah.
and I look at this stuff. The direction I come into it is from a historical perspective. My family is from eastern Quebec and then back into France. So I look at it from the standpoint of this whole country wouldn't have been explored and would not have been settled as fast as it was.
Trappers.
Yeah.
Trappers.
They mapped it.
And beaver were king.
Yep.
That was the driving force. And so members of my family were French Courtois that came here in the late 1600s. The Courtois, or the woods runners, were the ones that came. They were usually like the second and third sons of a noble family, but they aren't going to get any inheritance. So they came to the New World to make their own way.
Yeah.
And so they
That's
were
pretty cool.
they were trapping, they were trading with Indians, and they were going into the interior, and it was all about fur.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Not specifically
cool.
beaver, but that's what all it
That's
was.
pretty cool.
And so, if you know anything about Michigan history, I mean, the Michigan territory, everything funneled down
Yeah.
through the Straits of Mackinac from everything to the northwest. And so I always got into the trapping aspect of it because I've always been interested in the historical part.
Well, people
Yeah.
don't even realize you don't even have to go that far to find the importance of it.
Mhm.
World War I, World War II. The fat that you just scraped off
Yeah.
that beaver, they used to buy it so they could pack the armament. They used the fat from it because there was such a need. So they put out, there's posters and stuff, that were they were asking trappers, please, let us get this from you.
Yeah.
And that, people don't think about that. That, like, those were kids because the adults were gone.
Gone.
That was
Yeah.
kids doing that. Kids were helping to save
In the war
countries.
effort.
In the war effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
By
by
trapping.
trapping.
By trapping.
Trappers, yeah. And people
Impossible.
don't realize that. And I mean, there's a lot more trapping than people ever see.
There was a good beaver.
And nowadays, so like if I go into a school, a lot of times what I'll do when we're talking about trapping, I'll just say take a piece of paper, draw a trap. That's all I say. Draw what you think. You'll have some kids draw a cage. 90% of them will draw a bear trap.
Yeah.
Teeth.
Yeah.
90%.
Yeah.
Because that's what's in their head. Well, you even go back to Disney and you look at Fox and the Hound.
Yeah,
You know, what
yeah.
kind of traps did he set? All of them had teeth.
Teeth on them,
You know, and that's the image that is portrayed, and it's still portrayed that way.
Yeah.
You know, Rocky, you got to meet Rocky Hobbs.
Right.
So
Right.
a lady he posted that Bobcat he caught. And a lady posted on there and said, oh, you know, I had to have hurt it real bad. And she thought they had teeth on the trap still. And, you know, he explained it to her, and she came up with a better understanding. And you just in a circle of people who want to be petted, don't you, Bob?
Yeah.
Of course he does. Of course you do. Don't
That
you?
was panic.
Goofy dog.
But yeah, I think it's important, and and everything. And we're definitely gonna do a video on your skin and stuff. And I'm gonna ask everybody to kind of chime in and see if they want something specific while everybody's here. And because I think it's good to put some education out there. You know, everything I do, a lot of it's educational. Like that's my big push. Like with the trapping class,
Yep.
you know, it's education, and and it's focused around young folks and beginners and everything. It's fun to see all those kids, and
Oh,
they
yeah,
eat it up,
excited.
man. They eat it up.
The beaver tail toss.
I am the home of the frozen beaver tail toss. We get to find anywhere else that does it, so I get to claim that.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
But
It,
it is
it has to
fun.
be frozen beaver tail?
So we take beaver tails, and when we do the class, we will put different tarps out there with all kinds of prizes on them, and the kids have to land it on them. And and it's always fun. And we've always got a gun at the very last one, and it's always the bigger kids, which because I have to give it to a bigger kid anyway. And so it's not as easy as it sounds.
Right.
And they don't.
You can get a better grip on a thawed one.
Well, they start thawing out. But it's
So,
fun. Listen, it's fun because they catch wind sometimes. I love
Oh,
go.
yeah. All right.
Yeah, so it's fun. We do that every July. So it's a big time.
That's a
It's
really
hot.
good class.
And but all the kids are still at school. And and that's the thing. You look at all these fall meets and this and that all these organizations do. Kids are still in school. All your sports are heavy right there.
Yeah.
In July, that part of July, nothing. It's pretty much. So I always do it the week before the Nationals. It's always the week before the Nationals when I do it. And it's just part of it. It's
We get a lot of kids that come there too.
Yeah.
I mean, a bunch.
yeah. It's surprising. Like people that come to it that are trappers and stuff that come and help. They're always like, I figured it'd be 10 or 15 kids here.
Yeah, it's like, where'd all these come from? Is the whole town of Mayfield here?
They come from all over. Like, we have kids that travel to come to it. And
Well, I imagine once they come one time,
They
Oh,
wanna come
yeah,
back
long
every year.
term,
They're just
long-term
hooked.
kids.
Yeah.
Well, and then I'm blessed to be able to get down to kids that send me pictures and videos and everything else, and it's fun.
Yeah.
And like
Makes
the
it all
Ingram-
worth it.
Well, like the Ingram boys, they sold tan fur last year, and I put mine away. They brought some. They called me and asked if they could, and I let them sell theirs. But they were so pumped to have done that.
Right.
And it's neat to see kids, the camaraderie that it creates between them. There's kids that enjoy the outdoors, but it's not just deer hunting. So it's a select group of kids. They get to have their own peers, kind of like this.
Right.
We get our own peers. But well, guys, thank y'all for talking and letting me video it and everything, and we'll do
Easy.
some more. And everybody, y'all have a good evening. I'm gonna let y'all get back to.
we're gonna go eat that
Yeah,
beer.
we're
We're
gonna
going to smoke beaver. Sounds good.
Y'all take care.